Hello, welcome to the live stream. Rob Moore here. First of all, can everybody hear me? Let me know that right off the bat. If you could say something in the chat that says that you can hear me. Looks like it's working, but you guys be the judge. It's been a little while. Pam Powers, welcome to the live stream, Pam. Thanks for stopping in, and thanks for confirming that the audio works. I've got the audio level up a little bit because I've got the mic up a little higher. So great, you can hear me. So here we go. Another live stream. Renee Rosendahl, thanks for stopping by and confirming that the sound works. That's great. So yeah, I haven't done one of these live streams in a few weeks. Seems like I keep kind of false starting and then not sure where it's going, and then I get busy and stuff like that. So this is basically another start, hopefully the final one. I've put a lot of work into what I'm going to do, and based on the stats that I've been getting from the videos that I've put out and the questions that I've received. So I want to use today as a little bit of a reset and to kind of tell you guys where I'm headed with this, and also to answer any questions that you might have. So I've got some notes right here on the screen so that I can refer to those to make sure I don't forget anything. But please feel free to stop me at any time and ask a question. It's going to be up to me to look to make sure that I can see the questions coming in, but I think I've got it in a good spot that I'll be able to see them. And so that's what we're going to do. So I've prepared some topics to go over, so I'm going to go through those one at a time. Oh, 1 second. Perfect timing, a phone call. I'm going to mute that. That's not important. You guys are more important. Whenever you stop by into the chat, feel free to give me a hello and let me know where you're watching from. I am in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. That's in the east coast of Canada. So just a little bit north and east of, let's say, Boston or New York in North America, for those who aren't in this continent. So that's where I am. The weather here is not too bad. The snow is all gone, thankfully. Those who are in the United States or live in the southern countries might think that in Canada it's snowy here all the time, but it is not. It was, but not where we are. It's not right now. In Nova Scotia, we are considered a maritime province, thus my name, Rob the Maritimer. I've kind of themed it after that. But a maritime province, so our winters aren't nearly as bad as, say, out west in Canada or further north, obviously. In fact, our winters aren't as bad as the Midwestern United States, even. I think there were more storms this year in, I remember watching a football game that was in Kansas City, and the snow that they got and the temperatures that they got are way lower than what we've experienced here in Nova Scotia. So, so let me just check the chat here. A couple of messages came in. Renee is in Denmark. Awesome. That's cool. So I think you are a little bit north of where I am, or maybe around the same latitude. Is there any snow in Denmark? I'd be interested to know that. Pamela Powers is in Los Osos, California. Awesome. Love California. I've been there several times. Down the LA, San Diego, San Francisco area. I love that area. So that's great. And then Mark Tarone, thanks for stopping by, Mark. Hello, is in Philadelphia. Very good. I've been to Philadelphia as well. I saw a football game there, I'm going to say about 15 years ago now. I think it was the previous stadium they had. That's very good. And Mark says, coming your way first week in May on a cruise. Very good. Yes, we do get a lot of cruise ships in the port of Halifax. Mainly the summer, I think only the summer months. The port doesn't freeze over in the wintertime, so ships do come and go quite often. A lot of shipping happens in Halifax, but we do get a lot of fairly big cruise ships come in, and the people like to get off the boats and walk up and down the boardwalk. It's a nice city. Our city, Halifax, is a city of about, I don't think it's at 500,000 yet, but it's over 400,000 people. The whole province of Nova Scotia has around 1 million. I think we've eclipsed the 1 million mark within the last year or two. But the city, so half of the province's population is in the city of Halifax. And where I am is I'm located in St. Margaret's Bay. Well, not in the bay, on the edge of St. Margaret's Bay, which is about a half an hour drive from Halifax. So that'll just get you, give you a good idea of where I am. So it doesn't take me very long to get into Halifax at all. Renee says no snow in Denmark now. Awesome. That's great. I don't know. Is that good? I like snow. I mean, I used to ski a lot and whatnot, but I prefer the summers now. So I'm happy that, although actually Denmark, I think you guys were on TV. I don't know if you're a curling fan, but I am. I curl, the sport of curling, and Canada, we usually have some pretty good curling teams, and I know Denmark does as well. So the Worlds is going on. The World Women's Curling Championships is going on in our province. Actually, it's in Sydney, Nova Scotia, right now. Like it started a couple days ago, and I know Denmark has a team here. So there you go, small world. These live streams. So what I've done up until now, I've come on to these live streams. I've done some demonstrations. Mostly with Camtasia, sometimes with DaVinci Resolve, another editing software. And I talk about everything from YouTube to running a business based on video editing or online freelancing and all those sorts of things. The lifestyle, I guess, if you will. But in looking at my stats, actually, I'm getting a little bit off topic. I've prepared some slides. Let me just light up the first one here, Live Stream Tuesdays. That's the first thing I wanted to mention. These live streams are going to be, I've settled on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern as the time that I'm going to go live. And I'm going to try to keep that schedule, not so much for me, but for you and for people who stop in and see these live streams. I want to try to get a regular time set. And according to my stats, anywhere from now till about 2 or 3 hours from now is when most of the people who view my videos are online. So go figure. I've tried it a little bit earlier, and then the people on the West Coast, that's a bit too early for them. We're about 4 hours ahead of the West Coast of North America. But for Denmark, I suppose we're probably 4 hours behind. I don't know what time it is in Denmark now. Right now it's just after 1 Eastern, which is actually just after 2 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time, which is what I am in right here. So Denmark, I'm thinking 5 hours ahead, maybe 7 o'clock or so p.m. is my guess. Renee says, I think Canada is much better than Denmark at it. Yes, so at curling, I believe you mean. I'm not sure if Denmark has ever won the Worlds. Canada has several times, although Switzerland has been, on the women's side, Switzerland has been the country that I think they've won 3 or 4 years in a row. and Switzerland is currently undefeated, and so is Canada. So let's see what happens. I think the finals will be next week. What was I saying? So yeah, live streams, Tuesdays from now on. I may come on periodically at other times as well, but I'm going to try to keep the Tuesdays for sure every week, so you can rely on that. And so yeah, that moving forward, that's what I'm going to do. And if anybody ever, if you'd like to see me go on live at a different time, just let me know. I could always add a special time in as well, so we'll just play that one by ear. Renee says here the time is 18 o'clock. 18 o'clock, is that what you say? I know that's, so 18, so 6 p.m. So 18, yeah. I think in North America, we don't, unless you're in the Navy or a sailor, and actually I am a sailor, so I'm familiar with the 24-hour way of telling time, but 18, and so that's only 4 hours ahead, 6 p.m. Okay, interesting. 4 hours from here. Good to know. Cool. All right, so yeah, that was the first thing. Live stream Tuesdays. Let's just move right on to the next one. Camtasia Focus. So what I want to do, again, looking at my stats, I started this channel 2 years ago, I guess, with Camtasia Quick Tips is what I started making videos on. And I've used Camtasia for a long time, for many years, probably more than 10, maybe close to 15 years. I think Camtasia itself started in 2002, something like that. But probably in the last 10, 15 years, I've been using Camtasia. And I've been using it in my business to make videos, mostly tutorial videos, that type of video, for clients. So I've gotten quite good. I mean, you could always get better, but I still don't like to call myself an expert because there's a lot of things about Camtasia I don't know how to do. But when I run into trouble, YouTube is my best friend. Go to YouTube and or go to the Camtasia or TechSmith's support, and I figure out how to do things. So yeah, so I started the channel making videos on Camtasia, teaching people how to do certain things, teaching people what I know. But then I've kind of branched out because they say when you start a YouTube channel, don't try to niche down too tight or too much, because you don't really know what people want to see from you on YouTube. So I've made some of those videos. I also thought, well, maybe people would rather know more about running a home business from in the video editing space, or running a business through Fiverr, which is what I've been doing as well. So maybe I make videos on that. And I made one or two, I think, on Fiverr, how to run a home-based business on Fiverr. And then I've also gotten into other editing software. DaVinci Resolve is one that I really like. So I've made I think just one video, and it was only a month or two ago, on DaVinci Resolve. But I'm certainly not an expert in Resolve, and in fact, I don't think I'm enough of an expert to add too much more value than you can already find on the internet on how to use DaVinci Resolve. But Camtasia, again, I always fall back to that. If ever I get a video editing job and it's to make tutorial videos, Camtasia is what I use, always. Shouldn't say always. I have tried to do it in DaVinci Resolve. It's a lot harder. DaVinci Resolve, you can do a lot more things in terms of true video editing. So like if you're dealing with 4K footage and you're not screencasting at all, it's just you're making a full-on video, like a film, say, then maybe DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro, maybe those are more what you need. But Camtasia is the best for screencast type tutorial videos. So this channel is going to focus on that for the foreseeable future until you guys tell me otherwise. But we are at subscriber count right now is at 2,800. I think I'm just over 2,850 subscribers to the channel. It's funny because most of them have come to the channel in the year that I basically took off. There was about a year where I didn't post any videos from June of 22 until last July 2023. No videos, and a lot of subscribers came in from my Camtasia videos in that time. So just looking back, I'm going to say 85% of my subscribers came to me or subscribed after watching a Camtasia-based video. So that tells me I should be focusing more on Camtasia. It tells me that that's what you guys are looking for me to do. So that's what I'm going to do until I hear otherwise. Does that sound cool? Okay, so what is next? Let's go on to the third one here on topics. More videos more often. So I mentioned the live streams, one a week on Tuesdays, at least one a week. The more videos more often. So I'm going to get back to making Camtasia tip type videos, tutorial videos, how to do things in Camtasia. I've done a lot of those before, and I've kind of worked out a bit of a template which I used in the last video that I just released. I think it was Sunday night or Monday. No, yesterday. It was yesterday I came up with that video. came out with a video on animations, my favorite animations that I use when making tutorial videos in Camtasia. So that was basically, that took me several days to make that video because I wanted to kind of nail down an intro, and I wanted also to basically advertise that I'm going to be on live on Tuesdays, which I did. Let me know though if you've watched that video. One thing I'm trying to do is trying not to make my introduction very long, because I have seen on YouTube videos that's a key thing. If you want to keep people's attention, if people are clicking in to watch a video that you've made and they've clicked it because the title told them this video is going to teach you how to do something, if you don't get right into the teaching almost right away, you lose people. They won't watch the video, especially if it's a longer video. And actually, the video I released yesterday was over 30 minutes. I had no intention of making it that long. It's just that's the way it goes. When I'm doing a tutorial and I'm walking through things on my screen, sometimes it just takes that long. I went through it and tried to cut it down a little bit, cut out some dead space here and there, but I only brought it down from like 38 to 33 minutes. So my attempt from here on is going to be to make them shorter and to address basically singular topics. So how to do this, how to do that, all in Camtasia. And the more videos, more often, what I'm talking about there is I want to try to come out with 2 videos every week. Okay, so one middle towards the end of the week, so say Wednesday, probably Thursday, and then one Sunday, Monday, and both of those will basically remind people, come here Tuesday if you want any more tips and join in the live stream. So that's kind of what I've designed. Now is just and now that I've got the template set, we'll see how long it takes me to make my next video. So I've already got some ideas. I've been writing down a few topics so I can get ahead of myself. And then starting this afternoon, I am going to work on the next video, which will be out tomorrow or the next day, fairly soon. Okay, so that's the plan. Let me know if that sounds good or not. Let me see. So let me just double check here. I didn't miss anything. Focus on Camtasia more often. Yes, okay. And I did. Let's just take a quick look at the poll. I put up a poll question when I launched the live. I only have 3 votes, but that's fine. I just want to get a sense for who in here is watching. So, do you primarily use Camtasia for? What do you primarily use Camtasia for? Make videos for yourself or for your clients, or you don't use it? And so far, 2 of the 3 people who voted make videos for clients, and 1 makes them for themselves. So great, that's good to know. And I said primarily because a lot of people, if you make videos for clients, you probably also make them for yourself, or vice versa, right? If you make them for yourself, you could make them for clients if you had a business or a website set up to do that. So, so no, that helps me. Helps me know what, like who's watching and why are you interested in learning Camtasia. So I guess another question I would have, and you can just answer in the comments, and I'll take a look, is when you're making videos for clients, what types of videos are they? Are they tutorial videos, or do you get more into other types of video, like full videos, like maybe Reels or TikTok, vertical type videos? Anybody get into those at all? I'd be interested in knowing. Tutorial video, and as far as tutorial videos go, do you make them widescreen for, say, YouTube or for a website? Or do you also, or instead do you make them for mobile or for portrait type videos, vertical? Maybe the videos are for an app, say, and you want to make a video that will play vertically in a phone. You can do both with Camtasia. So, Renee Rosendahl says training videos. Okay, cool. Training videos. That's what I thought. I mean, that's what Camtasia was built around. I believe Camtasia started purely as a screen recording software, and it has kind of over the years morphed into more of an editing software. It's primarily screen recording, but now you can make those screen recordings look really good with the edits that you can do on top of them, the transitions, the adding B-roll, adding your face on top of the videos, and then transitioning back and forth and all the callouts and stuff. So yeah, no, they're perfect for training videos. Yeah, so okay, cool. Let's just move on here. So more videos more often. We've covered that, so I'm going to aim for 2 a week. We'll see how long I can do that. But yeah, so just a little bit more on that. Not sure if anybody here watching, or if you watch on the replay, if any of you remember, but almost 2 years ago, I did basically a feature live unboxing of Camtasia 2022 when that version came out. Then in my year absence, when I wasn't able to make videos, when 2023 came out, I wasn't around, I couldn't make a video on that. But when 2024 comes out, and I've already been communicating with TechSmith just to find out when that might be, I'm going to do the same thing as I did a couple years ago. I'm going to go over all of the new features that they add, which maybe there's going to be a lot, maybe there's not going to be very many, but I want to be right on top of that. So 2 years ago, it was June of 2022 when the 2023 version came out. Do I have the numbers right? I think so. So it was June. June is when it came out. June 7th, in fact. And if you look back at my videos, you'll see that I did a live stream on the day it was released, or it was the day after. And then last year, I think it was a bit earlier, like maybe April. And I know it had been April before. So assuming, I'm going to try to plan for it coming out sometime in April, May, something like that. So in the next few weeks, until the next version comes out, 2024 version, I'm going to come out with 2 videos a week teaching how to do certain things and bring you up to speed with perhaps some, we'll call them new, but newish things that you can do in Camtasia 2023 that you couldn't do before. I'm thinking motion path, animations, and cursor editing, things like that I have not made videos on before. I'm going to make as many of those videos as I can in advance of the next major release of Camtasia, and then when that happens, I'm going to be right on top of showing you how to do the new things that were added. Okay, so that's the plan with the more videos, and then we'll just go from there. Yeah, so that's that. That's more videos more often. Next on my list, I've got free resources. So as part of the overall strategy here, there's several different ways I can help you get better at making tutorial videos and get better at making videos with Camtasia. There's the videos that I make for YouTube. There is going live and answering any questions that you have in real time. And then there's also basically cheat sheets. There are 3 that I'm working on. There's 3, call them a guide, call it a cheat sheet. It might be more than one sheet, some of these. There's 3 things, 2 of them are guides. So what I'm working on right now, they are not available today. I'm hopeful they will be available next week for next Tuesday's live stream. One is a voiceover recording guide. Okay, I'm going to make a voiceover recording guide, or I'm making one right now, that's basically going to run down all the things you have to do, kind of like a checklist, to record your voice for the purposes of putting it into your Camtasia videos. So I'm going to touch on things like making sure your microphone is plugged in. Like there's different types of microphones. Do you have a USB mic that goes right into your computer, or do you have a mic that needs to go into an audio interface first? So I'm going to talk a little bit about, again, I'm still kind of working on it, so I don't want to get too detailed. I want to keep it fairly simple. Most people have a microphone anyways in their computer. If you're on a laptop, then they typically come with microphones. But perhaps not good enough or not as good as you'd like for a tutorial video. So If you're on a laptop, you may want an external mic, so you'll have to plug that in. As for screen cam, like a webcam, a lot of laptops have, well, all of them, I think, or most of them have webcams. So you can take a video of yourself, or you might want to plug in an external camera. So we'll go over that. And but specifically for voiceover, I'm creating a guide that's going to help you get good voice into your video tutorials. So we'll talk about how to treat your room, where to put your microphone. Mine's right here, but for voiceovers, I bring it closer. But that depends on what type of mic you have as to whether you need to bring it closer or not. And then basically how to edit it into your video. So how to line it up with your video. So there's that. That's one guide I'm working on. Another one I'm working on is a screen recording guide. There's a lot of different tricks. I've experimented with a bunch of different things. So if I show you my screen, let me just quickly, right here. This is my screen that's down here in front of me. It's a 1080p screen, 1920 by 1080. And I've got Camtasia there, full screen. I can show myself or not, right, like that. And that's showing a Camtasia project. In fact, it's the sample project I used when I made the video that I launched yesterday, the YouTube video. So this is one way, full screen recording. The monitor I have up here is a bigger monitor. It's a 4K monitor, 32 inch. The way I do a lot of my videos for clients is I will set a Camtasia window, to the exact size that I want, typically 1920 by 1080, so 1080p size. And then I'll put whatever I'm recording. So a lot of times it's a website, so it'll be Google Chrome that I put in there, and I'll size it perfectly so that the green box of Camtasia's recording window only captures exactly what I want it to capture. And that box, when set to 1080p, is within the 4K monitor, if that makes sense. And I made a video on that a couple years ago now. A good reason to have a 4K monitor or even a 1440p monitor, so that if you create a 1080p size square, then you can put that in the middle of your monitor and not have to worry about cropping out the title bar or if you're on a Windows machine, the bottom bar and all that stuff that you typically don't want to capture in screen recordings to make it look as clean as possible. So anyways, a bit of a tangent there. I'm creating a screen recording guide, like a checklist for you to go through how to set up your screen to get the best results. So it'll minimize the editing you'll have to do afterwards in Camtasia and just speed up your workflow. So that's free resource number 2 that's coming out. Free resource number 3 is a Camtasia template that I'm putting together, my tutorial video template. And I'm going to give that to you, anybody who wants it, free of charge. And it would be a good jumping off point or starting point for you to make a tutorial video. So basically it'll have like an intro, all kinds of things, like the typical call outs that I use in tutorial videos. A typical intro and an outro, and just I'm going to set it up as a template so that you can save a copy of it, and then whenever you're creating a new project, you can kind of copy and paste this template and then start a new project with it. So I think a lot of people will find that helpful. Funny thing, I'm only now getting into these templates. I've created, and I know this is not the right way to do it, but most of the projects I've done in the past have been starting from scratch. I'm so, the things that I do and the ways that I make these tutorial videos is so similar each time. I can do it so quickly that I don't feel like I need a template necessarily. So I know that how long I make my intros. I know what animations I typically put on, and it doesn't really take me that long at all to set it up. If you do it the same way over and over and over again, you can get fairly quick at it. But having said that, I'm not putting down templates at all. I think templates are a great way, especially if you have a very specific, say, a color scheme, or if you're creating a series of, let's say, an educational series on a piece of software. Maybe there's a 10 video series you're making and you want them all to have the exact same intro and the same mid-roll screens, title screens, and things like that. So in cases like that, then yes, it would be helpful to have a template. So I'm making one, and I'm going to make it available to everybody for free. So, but it's not ready yet. It'll be ready by Tuesday. Anyways, yeah, let's just take a quick break. Everything going good so far? If you're getting value from this, let me know. I'd appreciate it. If there's any questions you have for me, let me know. If there's anything you're hearing, or if there's anything you're not hearing that you were hoping to hear, let me know that too. I kind of want to gear these around what you're looking for. So especially this first one here, there's going to be a lot more of me asking you guys, okay, you know, do you want me to go this way? You want me to go that way, or whatever? So, so at any time, jump into the live chat and just let me know if I'm on the right track, if this is the kind of thing you're looking for, or not. I'd love to hear it. Yes. So, okay, moving on then. Let me go back to the main screen here. Free resources, just talked about those. I'll let you know when they're available. They'll be available through my website, robthemaritimer.com, and you'll be able to download them from there. That's the way, and I'll have a link to them, probably a direct link in the description of my videos as well. Okay, so the next one, channel mission. Well, I kind of really, I mean, I've written a couple notes down here. I've kind of already talked about that. But basically, the goal of this channel is to help us. I'm going to read it right off of here. It's a mission. Whoop! It's a mission statement. These aren't supposed to fall out. I just got these, and that fell out. That's not good. I run with these. That's why I got these. Because, anyways, maybe I need to change the size of the cup. Okay, channel mission. To help as many people as I can by sharing what I know about how to make great tutorial videos that, frankly, people pay good money for. So I don't know why I put that in there. Basically, I just want to... There's a market for these. So whether you're making them for yourself, training videos that is, whether you're making them for yourself or you just love the software and you want to make these videos and you know, for a living even, that's what I do. That's what I've done for many years. There's a market for it. So whether you have your own marketplace, your own website, or whether you use a site like Upwork.com or Fiverr.com, there's a market for it. There are people who need these training videos, and it's more economical for them to hire some freelancer or company contract it out than to have somebody in-house who might already be busy doing other things to drop what they're doing and make these videos. So yeah, so there's a definite market for it. Just wanted to let you know that, yeah, if you're only making them for yourself now, but you're looking for either a way to make some extra income on the side, or if you want to transition to doing this full time, you can with the proper business plan and whatnot, because people, again, they pay good money for it. So yeah, so to help as many people as I can with Camtasia. So a lot of times I'll come up with the ideas, what I think you want to know, and then other times I will make videos based on the questions that you ask in the comments of my videos or these live streams. That'll shape my direction as well. So yeah, that's the channel mission. Hopefully that's you find that helpful. Now, the last thing I have written down here is courses and coaching. What time? 2:34. Coaches and so I don't have a course to sell you. I don't currently offer live coaching either, but both of them are on my radar. So I think I could offer live coaching. on a one-on-one basis, Zoom calls, right, and help people through the process of making tutorial videos and how to, and that way, as we work through things, you can stop me at any time and just say, well, no, how did you do that? How do I do this and whatnot, and screen sharing and all that. And I may well offer that. The plan is to eventually offer that for those who want one-on-one help. But before that, I am working on some courses, 2 in particular right now. They're going to be, the first one is going to be basically getting started with Camtasia and walking you through making a tutorial video and everything you need to do that. That's going to be a relatively short course. When I say short, it's probably going to be a few hours of video, maybe 6 or 7 videos totaling about 3 hours of content, something like that, is what I have in mind for basically how to make tutorial videos with Camtasia from start to finish. So I'm working on that. That won't be free. However, when I first launch it, if it's not going to be free for the first, say, 10 people or so, just so I get some feedback, it'll be for a very small amount. And then once things get going, the plan would be to charge a little bit more for it. But we're talking in the $20 to $50 range, nothing too big. In addition, the next course after that, it might not be the next one that I make, because there's other things that I'm looking at doing with Camtasia courses, but is to make basically a Camtasia mastery course, one that covers everything. So when I say everything, I mean everything. Like if you look at here's Camtasia here, you've got annotations. I mean, we can go through all these different annotations that are available, right? Transitions. I mean, look how many obviously I'm not going to waste time making a video for every one of these, but you get the idea. I'm going to talk about even the things that I don't use to make tutorial videos. You may want to, so you may want to know how to do certain things. There's some crazy stuff. I made a video last year or the year before on custom animating a ball that kind of goes in a circle and then kind of does this all across the screen. I made that not because I put them in, I do that in my tutorial videos. No, I never have. But it's just something cool you can do with Camtasia, and maybe you would have a use for that. Things like editing the cursor path, which I haven't really done myself in the tutorial videos I make for my clients. However, I'm going to start because I don't know how this one got by me, probably because I took, there was a year that I wasn't making videos or getting into the new Camtasia things, but that's some pretty powerful stuff. You can really make, whenever I make a tutorial video, when I'm capturing the screen, I take great care in not wiggling my cursor all over the place. I, try to be very intentional, like moving it here, there, and, knowing that I may have to stop and then stop the recording, and then I'll have to start it up again and stitch the two together. I'd like the mouse to be roughly in the same place. Well, that's less of a concern if you really get into the cursor path editing that's now available, I think, within this most current version of Camtasia. So I'm going to make videos on that. My point is there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do in Camtasia that I don't necessarily use, but this mastery course that I'm going to be making, that's going to take several months to do, is going to cover everything. And then I'm going to add new stuff to it. So when Camtasia, the next version comes out, 2024, in the next month or two, there's going to be new things. There usually are new things available. I'll make videos on those for the YouTube channel, but also to add to the main mastery course. Okay, so don't know yet what that's going to cost, what I'm going to charge for it. Again, it's probably one of those things that'll start low. I want to get some test people in there to see if they like it, and then go up from there. And if it becomes something that I just keep adding more to it, then maybe there's a membership that I create that'll include everything. And when I say everything, there's other courses too. So those are the two first ones. I wanted to mention, when I say courses and coaching, the first two courses I'm working on is the how to make a tutorial video with Camtasia, and that's going to be the first one, and it's going to be within, I'm going to say within 1 to 2 months. I'll have that ready, and the whole time I'll be working on the bigger one, but then some other smaller ones to go alongside of the first Camtasia one. I'm just going to read them here. I've got them written down. So I've got where are we? Master. So yeah, getting started with Camtasia could be one. Camtasia, create professional tutorial videos. That's what I talked about. That's the one I'm working on now. How to start a successful video editing business and everything that goes along with that. That could be a mini course. Start a successful YouTube business is another one. Sorry, just go back here. Just start a successful Etsy business. That's another one that a lot of people want to know about. So those are some examples. Getting started with Fiverr could be a small course. Getting started with Canva, another software I use every day, all the time. All these graphics you see on the screen, by the way, like these things. Whoops. All the overlays I created in Canva. All my thumbnails for my YouTube videos I created in Canva. I don't know if any of you saw the trailer video for this live stream. It was like a short 40-second video. Well, the graphics in that I created in Canva. Oh wait, no, I didn't. I created that. No, I created that in Camtasia. That video I created in Camtasia. So I lie. That wasn't Canva, but most everything else, graphic-wise, I use Canva. So a mini course on how to use that, I think, would be helpful. So these are some of my ideas. Ultimately, it's going to depend on what you guys are looking for. Real quick here, just looking at the chat. Renee says, do you have a video showing how to make a dashed line with movement so you can see a direction? Hope it makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. No, I don't. But I know how to do that. There's probably a couple of ways. Why don't I show you? I mean, I've pretty much covered everything I was going to cover there. There's a couple more things I'm going to touch on at the end here, but I think this is a good time to get into a bit of a demonstration, shall we? So why don't I press this and go to Camtasia, and I will show you how to make a dashed line with movement so you can see direction. Okay, so first of all, let me go File, New Project. Okay, we have a new Camtasia project here. Now, so first let's say, okay, this is our, what do we got here? Project settings, 1920 by 1080. Let's just make the screen white. First of all, let's close that. Camtasia for Mac handles colors differently than Camtasia for Windows. I was years using Camtasia for Windows. I've only used it on a Mac for the last year or so. So there's some slight differences, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. So here's our canvas. Let's go find a dashed line. Was it a line or an arrow you're looking for? A dashed line. Okay, so here we are in annotations. Let's go up to, so we can maybe find something in here. In the sketch motion, there are already things that are kind of moving, right? So, but that's not what we're going to do. But like if you wanted, I mean, that would be something here that if we played that, you can't even see it. We have to go here, make the thickness bigger. Let's make the color something you can see. So that's already an animated annotation. So I mean, that's one way you could do it, and then you can just, you can rotate it to go wherever you want, and then you can, right? So anyway, that's not what I'm going to show you though. Let's go grab a static image. So if we click the arrows and lines here under annotations, everybody can see this okay? You can see this okay? Looks like you can. And let's grab an arrow. It's right here. Okay, let's just move that one over there. So here's an arrow. Let's make it a little bit bigger. If I hold down Shift, that just forces it to go left to right there. Let's change it to, wait, no, gotta close that. Change it to, well, no, red's fine. Let's make it a little bit bigger. No, you know what? I'm going to stop myself right there. You said dashed line. Let's delete that. So you can come in here and you can find a dashed line like this. This is a dashed line. Okay, let's change the thickness. It's actually a dashed arrow, as you can see. Okay, so also, if ever you find something in the annotations that, you know what, that's the one I want to use, I'll use this, you can then favorite it, right? So you come up here and you just click this star here. If you click that star and make it orange or yellow, then it will always appear here, see, in your favorites. If you uncheck that, it disappears from your favorites and you'll just have to go find it again here. So find one that, for continuity, find one, once you find one that you like, favorite it, okay? But there's so many different kinds here. So these ones are kind of blocky, dashed lines. There's, look, here's another one here. I'm going to change the color of these because you can't really see them. That's a more circular one. But all of these, you can change the properties. So if you're looking for a dashed line, maybe you don't want an arrow. Okay, there's an arrowhead at the end of this. If you don't, so you can change the thickness. That changes the thickness of the arrow too, right? But if you don't want the arrowhead, you come up here to line style and you change it. So let's click here. If you want that at the end, you do that, you select that. If you want it to be kind of a rounded end like that, you select it like that, or a squared off end here. Okay, so there's a dashed line, right? Then there's line styles as well. Okay, right, so we were dealing with the ending, right? So maybe at the beginning, you want an arrow pointing that way, okay? But let's assume you just want a line. Okay, so it's just a line. The middle part, you can select the style here. There's solid, right? So even though they give you all kinds of different ones to start with, you can change them all. So this is the style we had. Here's another type of dashed line, right? So, and then if you want to show movement, there's two different ways to do this. Two different ways, or probably more than two different ways. Two ways I can think of. So one thing is you can animate this. Let's just go down to the timeline here. So this is the one we're dealing with here. Let's just move it over here. Okay. So if I want that to move left to right, say, I could just add an animation. We go here to animations, bring down custom animation. And so you have your starting point there. Let's say we want the starting point to be there. And let's end it, you know, over here. Then there's your animated line in that direction. Okay. Now, I don't think that's exactly what you're looking for. So I will show you the second way, which I think is probably closer to what you're looking for. And incidentally, if you wanted to put an arrowhead at the end of that, you could do it like that. You can change the thickness, right? And then the animation. Oh, you see what happened there? Those properties, I changed the properties at the start of the animation, but not at the end. So it animated, changed the properties as well. So you have to be careful with that. Now you can right click here and click on copy properties, and then click on the end, right click, click on paste properties. Okay, no, that doesn't do it because that reset the location as well. Okay, let me just back that up. See, there's a lot of trial and error too. So, yeah, I'm not sure how to copy just the properties without the position and have them carry forward. So basically, what I would do is I would remove the animation and I would make sure that this looks exactly the way I want it to look before I add the animation. Okay, so let's say it's that, and then if I add the animation, and at the end, let's say we want it to be over here, right? There's our animation. Okay, so that's one way you can put. And if you want to, you know, if you want to let's say you want it to curve up, you can have the ending animation not only be there, but you can have it, let's say, rotate it, right? You can do that. Let's say, let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's another cool way to animate it. Okay, so anyways, that's the first method. Let me just check the chat here. It is not so much the arrow itself that I would like to move, but more that the squares in the arrow run in a circle. In a circle. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but if I show you the second method, that might give you some ideas as to how to do exactly what you're looking for. So let me just let's delete this animation. Let's get rid of the arrowhead. Okay. Now, if you want to show, see another way you can kind of give the appearance of animation is to basically unhide something. Okay, unhide something through time. And what I mean by that is, if let's say you have this line, but you want it to gradually grow to that size. Okay, one way you can do that is you can add an annotation on top of it. I'm just going to go to my favorites because this is the one I usually use. Let's say this one here. Whoops. Let's cover it. Okay, so this is on top of the arrow. If you unhide this, you can see not the arrow, the dashed line, the blocky line underneath. Now let's make this the same color as our background. So we'll come over here, we'll choose white. Okay, so now it's basically hidden. Okay, so to show what's behind it, we can animate this square on. Okay, so let's drop an animation. Let's go back to animations and drag a custom animation here. And let's say this is what we want it to look like at the beginning. And then at the end, let's come here. And you can either drag, you can probably already guess what I'm doing. You can drag that across here like that. So you're changing the size of that callout over time. Or you can simply move the callout like that. Either will have the same effect. So let's see what that looks like. That's the end, and the beginning of the animation was like that. So let's watch that. Okay, actually, the effect will be better, I think, if here. Let's just make the ending like that, and let's not have it highlighted. Okay, so watch this. There, okay, if you want it to appear slower, you just make the animation longer. Okay, and as you see, easing was on, so if you want it to happen linearly, you would right-click the animation arrow, and then over animation easing, you would select none here. And that would mean the animation would happen linearly. Okay, like that. Yeah, so that's another way to animate anything, really. If you have a solid color behind it, you can create a callout, square, circle, whatever, of that same color on top of it, and then slowly reveal it however you want. Maybe you want to reveal it. Let's do this another way. Let's delete that. Let's take this and rotate it. This might give us some cool effect. Okay, let's rotate it like that. Okay, I'm just gonna stretch this out. Okay, if we start with it like that and drag a custom animation down to it, now let's bring it over here like that. Okay, so now the animation will look like this. Okay, and obviously you won't see this once you render your video. like that. So I don't know if that helps. Let me just, Renee says, sorry, not circle. Yeah, I didn't think, but more like a pulsing effect, if that makes sense. A pulsing effect. Okay, that I still don't know exactly what you're looking to do, but let me show you one more thing. So these are what I like to call manual animations. We're creating these manually, basically from scratch. I've always used the custom animation, but there are other ones. There's opacity, like this, no opacity, basically fading out, and that to full opacity, fading in. And you can do those by just using the custom animation and changing the opacity values, right? So I've never really used all these other ones, although motion path is a pretty cool one. I'm going to make a video on that one. But maybe what you're looking at is behaviors. If we go into behaviors, I'm going to delete this. I'm just going to move that out of the way. So let's just move it back here, actually. Got all kinds of things going on over there. So we're still dealing with this arrow here, or not arrow, this line. Let's center it. Okay. Now, you mentioned pulsing, more like a pulsing effect. So there is one called pulsating. There's all kinds of different things you can do here in behaviors. And these are other types of animations that are basically preset, but editable. You can change a lot of them. So if we I'm going to bring the sliding one. This is the one I've used quite often. Now, if you look at this, if you look at it, so it does slide in from the right, and we can change that. If we come up here into properties, you notice there are three types of behaviors within the sliding behavior. There's in, during, and out. So the in, it's slid in from the left, direction left. If I just select that, I can change where it slides in from. Okay, from the right, from the top, from the bottom, all that can be changing. And the in, and this is sliding in. Okay, the style is sliding. If I don't want anything to happen during the in animation or behavior, let's click sliding and we can just go up to none. Okay, so now there is no in animation. It just starts in. Like that. Let's make this shorter so we don't have to wait so long. And the out is a slide to the right. So, whoops. And if we highlight this and if we go to the out, we can see that it is set to sliding. The out is set to sliding to the right. And you can change the speed as well. Okay? And you can change whether easing is applied or not. What I want to show you though is the during. So the during, the style is fading. So I don't know if you could tell, but actually if I change that color to maybe a darker color, let's just go black. Might be easier to see. And go back to behaviors. The fading, and the fading is set to movement of linear. And the opacity 65% and loop time is every 2 seconds. So what's going on here is the opacity is dropping from, so 100% is fully visible, okay? 100% black, these squares here, or this line. But this during behavior of linear fading means it's going to fade from the 100% down to 65%, and back, and it's going to go back and forth. It's going to loop forever. See, this box is checked. Every 2 seconds. Okay? So, can you tell that it's going down to 65%, which is basically gray? Let me remove the out animation so it always stays. So let's change that to none. Okay? So there's no in, there's no out, there's only a during, and it's set to fading. You'll really be able to see it if I drop this opacity down lower. Let's go down to like 19%. See what that looks like. Okay, you get that now? See what it's doing every 2 seconds? If you want it to happen faster, let's drop that down. 0.97 seconds, or you can type the number exactly if you want. Just type 1 second. There, every second it's pulsing. Okay? Now, I don't know if that helps, but let me just add to that. So now we get into, what do we call this? I had a term for this, but I've basically combining more than one animation effect to the same thing. So, and you can do that if you have a behavior applied and then also a custom animation. So you may know where I'm going with this, but we've applied that animation, the during animation. Well, let's also then go back to animations and drag a custom animation down to this. Let's start with this here at the beginning. Let's start with this off the screen. Okay, let's check the easing. Animation easing is set to none. Let's make that exponential in and out. That's easing in, easing out. And then let's drag another one to the end. And there, let's drag it right off. Okay, right click, animation easing is also set to exponential in and out. And let's, don't want it to take too long. There, that was a quick little animation. Let's see what it looks like. Slides in, it's pulsing. While it's in, slides out. So, complex animations, combined animations. So we've basically added two animations to one thing. I mean, you can do other things like maybe in the middle here while it's pulsing, it also rotates. Okay, let's drag another custom animation here. And so we can start, horizontal line. But at the ending here, let's go back to, so you have to make sure you're on the right tab up top here. So behaviors is what I was on. So let's go back to this here, the call out. And now's where we can change, oh no, we have to go over here to the actual line properties. And let's change the rotation. Let's say we want this to rotate one full rotation. So that would be the x-axis. No, oh, you could do that. Let's not do that one. That's getting too crazy. You can make it do that. We're not going to do that one. Or the z. Oh, look at that. Okay. X, Y, Z. What else can we do? I see, because since this is a line, it's a little bit more difficult to do what I thought I had in my mind. But, well, let's do this X one, for instance. So if we went all the way around once, well, 360 degrees in a circle, right? Now, here's a math lesson. 360 degrees, so that should mean we do one full rotation. If I add 360 in there, it looks the same. So that does one big pulse like that. Well, let's say we want it to do that 5 times. Calculator. 360 times 5 equals 1800. I don't know if any of you can do that in your head, but I wasn't going to do that in my head. I'm not that good at math. Let's type 1800 degrees in there. That's the ending rotation value at the end of this animation. So now let's move the animation and put it to occur the entire time it's in the middle of the screen. And let's see what we got out of that. Wow. Okay, that went a little crazy. Oh, I see what it did. It unwound itself before it did the last behavior. That was pretty funky. There, it unwound itself as it went out. I don't know. Is that cool? I think it's kind of cool the number of different things you could do with these animations and behaviors and combining the two of them together. Pretty much limitless. It's only limited by your imagination, I would think. So some pretty cool stuff, but practically speaking, I don't know when I would use that. But again, if you come up with something like this that is like a fancy way to highlight something in your tutorial videos and you really love the way it looks, maybe you have multiple colors and it flies in and rotates at the same time and then highlights and then goes away, save it and you Control C, Control V, or Command C, Command V on a Mac. Copy and paste, right? Use it once, copy it, paste it to another location you want to use it, or save it as a template, right? Save it in your library, and then you can reuse it again. So, but coming up with this, I mean, you got to start with the idea, and then see what you can build. So I don't know, Renee, if that has helped you in terms of what you were specifically looking for, but we kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole there towards getting into animations, and hopefully I've given you some ideas anyways on how to do exactly what you want to do. And if you want to try explaining it again, feel free, and I will do my best to try to recreate what you're looking for. Or if you want to let me know after this live stream is over, you can drop a comment below the video or below any of my videos, actually. I always check the comments in all of my videos before I can't check everything, but any new comments that come in through the week, I make a note of if there are things that I perhaps could answer in a live stream, and then I'll go through them in the live stream. That's the plan going forward. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, so let's go back to the main camera. And I think we're pretty much wrapping up. It's been over an hour, but I'll stay as long as you would like me to. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. Just going to quickly check on the poll again. So we had another vote for making videos for clients. So 75% of the people in here use Camtasia for making videos for clients. That's great. I kind of thought it would be more that than for yourself. And when I say making them for yourself, I kind of meant for yourself or your company or the organization you work for. Like maybe you're a teacher and you use Camtasia to make videos for your class, or an educator of some kind. But yeah, so a good percentage of people. Now it's a small. I mean, that's only 4 votes. So I'll probably ask this question more as more and more people come to these live streams. Hopefully it grows over time. I anticipate that it will once word gets out that I'm doing these. And maybe we'll have a larger sample size and get some more information that way. Renee says, thanks for the help. I'll try to make a better description and find a few examples. Okay, so I must not have done it exactly with the way you're looking for. But yeah, if you could send me an example or a link, include a link to a video that shows one or something like that, that'd be helpful too. And I could see about how to recreate it in Camtasia. Absolutely. Let's see now. What next? So yeah, courses. I was talking about courses and coaching. So just a quickly recap. I'm working on a Camtasia course called Creating Professional Tutorial Videos, and how to do that from start to finish. And it's not going to include anything, it probably won't include complex animations like what I just went through. But then I'm also working on a more robust set of videos that will get into everything, including things like this. So how to combine different animation techniques. And that will be down the line. That's many months away for that one. Okay, so that's the plan. And to grow a community of people who, this is a resource for anybody who wants to get better at making these types of videos. As I said, I've made these for years. I've been a freelancer for the last 4 or 5 years, doing this mainly through Fiverr, and making a good living. As I say, people will pay you to make these. If you can get good at making videos like this, there are people out there who will pay you to do it and to do it well. So that's what I've been doing the last 4 or 5 years. Before that, I also used Camtasia, but I had a company. I don't expect anybody here to know of it, and the website doesn't even exist anymore. But it was demowolf.com, and what that was I created tutorial videos that helped people, taught them how to do specific tasks within their web hosting control panel, if that makes any sense. Anybody who knows anything about web hosting and how all that works, there's typically a control panel that you would use to create email addresses, to create forwarders, to all kinds of different things. I made tutorials for hosting companies for them to help their clients how to use their control panels, okay? And there were specific third-party control panels that most hosting companies used. And I'm talking back, I started this 15 plus years ago. No, like close to 20 years ago. 20 years ago, oh my God, 20 years ago. I started a small hosting business on the side back when I was an engineer. That's how I got into this. And I ran a hosting company for a couple of years. I ended up selling it. But in creating that, I created tutorial videos for it. And then my next venture after that was to create a company that made these tutorial videos for all of the hosting companies. And back then, there were tens of thousands of small one-person hosting companies. Seemed like that was the thing. That everybody wanted to be a hosting company. They would build websites, and anybody who needed a website built would then also need a place for it to be hosted, right? So it made sense for web developers to also offer hosting. So they would create a hosting business, and then if they wanted tutorial videos and they didn't want to make them themselves, well, I've already created a bunch of them. And it wasn't Camtasia at first. It was another software called Demo Builder that was making Flash tutorials. Flash isn't even a thing anymore. And then morphed into MP4 videos. And anyways, so I made these and I rebranded them all for the company who was buying them from me. So I did that for a number of years. And I moved that over to Camtasia, and that's what first got me into Camtasia, probably 15. It's over 10 anyways, but 10 to 15 years ago. So yeah, Camtasia 7 or 8 is the first number that I remember myself using. And then yes, that market kind of changed. So now if you want a website and hosting, a lot of times there still are a bunch of little hosting companies, but a lot of the big guys, big boys, if you will, GoDaddy or SiteGround or Bluehost. There's all kinds of larger hosting companies that are quite large. The industry went through a period where these larger hosting companies got even larger because they bought up a lot of these little ones, right? So there became less and less demand for what I was offering. So I had to change, and now I became known for making custom tutorial videos for these hosting companies. So maybe they didn't use a control panel that was cookie cutter that a lot of the smaller ones used. They had their own. Well, they wanted custom videos for that. Well, they would hire me to make custom ones, right? So, but that was a very niched market. I was only making tutorial videos for the web hosting companies, right? So I then changed over and became a freelancer on Fiverr and through my website at robthemaritimer.com. Yeah, that's my background. I don't know why I got into that. It was more, I was kind of going to wrap this up, but then I kind of got into about me. So I don't know if you found that interesting, but that's my background. That's how I got into this. But the future, what the future is I believe in helping other people and training other people how to do what I do. So I don't want to do this forever. Not YouTube. I love doing this actually, but in terms of having to make tutorial videos all the time for other companies, at some point I'll probably want to wind that down. I'm not 25 anymore, and but it's fun. But my focus now is on teaching other people how to do what I do, and then you can kind of take my knowledge and run with it and put your own spin on things. So that's the idea behind this YouTube channel. That's the idea behind my YouTube videos, Camtasia focused, the weekly live streams, all 3 weekly pieces of content. So that's 2 YouTube videos and 1 live stream. All 3 will, once they're ready, be advertising my freebies that I'm going to be giving away. And just to remind you again, they were, I've got it in my notes here. Yeah, the template, right? The template, the free Camtasia template, a voiceover recording guide that I'm making, and a screen recording guide. So those are the 3 things. And I may add more as time goes on, but eventually they are going to feed into the courses that I'm going to offer. Again, starting with a small one, then a larger one, many months down the line. And at some point, I may even offer one-on-one coaching if that's something that people want. Maybe the mastery course is all you're going to need. And if I'm available weekly anyways for questions, you perhaps don't need one-on-one coaching. Right now there's only a few people in the live stream, so now's a really good time actually to stop in and get one-on-one coaching, if you will. As Renee will attest to, you ask a question in here, I'll answer it as best I can. It's only when there's too many questions to answer in the time that I'm here that would become a problem. But for now, it's not too busy in here, and I can answer pretty much any question you can throw at me. So I think that's it. I hope you found this useful. Again, I will come out with there's going to be another video there's going to be another video that I'm going to post to YouTube in the next day or 2. And then another one, probably Sunday or Monday. And then after that, I will be back here next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and we'll do this again. Not this same thing. I'll have a different set of topics to talk about. I'll have other demonstrations ready to go. And I didn't have a specific demonstration ready to go for today's because I knew it would take me some time to go through all of this. So next Tuesday, same time, same place, 1 o'clock Eastern here. I'll be back. And until then, if you have any questions at all you'd like me to answer at the next live stream, you can ask it here in this live chat while I'm still here. Once this live is over, you'll be able to comment below, or at the bottom of any of my YouTube videos, you can post questions in there as well. And I will add them to the list for next week. Okay, so thanks again for stopping in, and thanks for your questions. I look forward to the next one, and I am Rob the Maritimer from robthemaritimer.com, and thanks again, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.